So, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is the brand new movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's directed by Destin Daniel Cretton, and it stars Simu Liu, Aquafina, Michelle Yeoh, Tony Leung. And it's about Shang-Chi, who goes by Sean in the US. He learns that his dad, who's this ultra powerful person, he's been targeting him and his sister, and now he must kind of fight off his dad and the evil powers that he has, basically. So this was a move. So I'm always interested in the MCU, no matter what. I think I do enjoy the MCU overall, even though like some of their movies can be hit or miss sometimes. Like most recently, Black Widow was just fine at best. And the trailers for this movie just didn't really excite me too much. The plot kind of just sounded like it was just ripped out of Black Panther, and it just didn't really seem like a movie that I was going to be really excited for. Even though Destin Daniel Cretton is directing it, he's never directed an action movie before. All of his movies have been dramas with social commentary in it. So I was like, that's an interesting choice for director. We'll see how this works. And I'm so glad I didn't listen to myself this time, because this movie is actually a lot of fun. This movie is a blast. This movie was actually really good. I'm surprised by how much I enjoyed it. So what works in this movie? Pretty much all the performances in this movie are really good. Simu Liu as Shang-Chi, he was really good. I kind of heard that he was kind of bland in the movie, but he was actually really good. He does all of his action scenes are good. He has great chemistry with everyone in the cast. Everyone does a great job in this movie, cast-wise. Aquafina, I was worried that she was going to be really annoying in this movie, but no, she's actually really good in this movie, and a lot of her jokes work, and when she needs to be serious, she is really serious. And she's not just on the sidelines in this movie. She's actually does a good job in this movie. Also, Tony Leung is this villain. He's also really good. He's very cold. He's very angry, but he kind of does have a sense of humor at times. He has a really funny line in the middle of the movie, which I laughed out loud at. Michelle Yeoh, it's a little disappointing because Michelle Yeoh, spoiler, I guess, she doesn't appear until about halfway through the movie. That's all I'll say. Michelle Yeoh, I thought she did a good job. I was kind of worried when she appeared they weren't going to use her that much, but no, she was really good in this movie. Also, the actress who played Shang's sister, Meng or Zhang, I think her name is. Again, I just can't pronounce names well. I thought she was really good. She's cold like her dad in the movie. She has a lot of great scenes as well. I thought all the performances were really good. The fights in this movie and the action scenes are just really cool throughout. Like the bus scene that you kind of see throughout. You do not see the full thing. That scene was amazing. Also, there's one in a skyscraper that was pretty cool. The main fight scene is a lot of fun. The fight between, Simu Liu and Tony Leung, that was also really cool. There's a lot of great action scenes in this movie. The visual effects are also really cool as well. They don't really distract from the movie, and they feel natural. They honestly don't even feel like visual effects. That may sound like a weird thing, but I thought visually it was also really impressive. Also, the musical score by Joel P. West, I think his name is. The musical score was great. The soundtrack was also really good, too. I thought that was a really nice touch for the movie. And also, I kind of liked a lot of the life lessons this movie kind of talks about throughout the entire movie. It kind of has to deal with, what are you doing with your life? You got to do something bigger with your life. And I kind of felt that like right now, and kind of like with my life, I kind of feel like I need to do something more with my life. I need to do something more exciting with my life, something that I can be proud of. And I'm glad this movie just came out at the right time. Are there any negatives? There are a few. There are some things that I wish they didn't spoil. That would have been an awesome surprise. You kind of see like who's in the movie before the movie comes out, and some people that they kind of spoiled in either the trailers or in the press junkets for this movie. That was a bit disappointing. Again, also, even though this movie is pretty funny throughout the most part, not every joke lands. There's like kind of an awkward scene on an airplane where Shang-Chi is talking to Aquafina about his past, and then a stewardess comes in, and it's just this really awkward joke, and then just cuts back to him telling the story. It just didn't work for me. That was the only joke in this entire movie that I just really hated. Even though most of the jokes work, just some jokes don't work. Also, the movie is about 2 hours and 13 minutes or something, and admittedly it does kind of drag at times. And I feel like this movie would have been a little bit better if it was just like 2 hours. They kind of like shorten a bunch of these scenes and kind of make it a tighter movie. Also, even though like there was a ton of great action scenes, like there's one on the bus, there's one outside a skyscraper, there's a lot of really cool action scenes. Some are admittedly better than others. That's not really a complaint. It's just more of a nitpick, to be honest. Whereas like, oh yeah, I love the bus scene. Oh yeah, I love the skyscraper scene, and I love the big battle at the end. But yeah, there's some in between that I think are fine. They didn't really do too much for me. It's just like a simple car chase. But overall, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, it has great performances, great action scenes. The visuals are great. The music is great. The lessons you'll take away from this movie are really good. But maybe it's not as funny as it thinks it is. And also, like, I kind of feel like it should have been a little shorter. And even though Marvel does a good job at, like, hiding a lot of these surprises in their movies, I wish they didn't spoil a lot of them. This movie's still a lot of fun despite those problems. I'll give Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings 3 out of 4 stars. See it. So, I'm going to try to do a spoiler review of Shang-Chi probably Sunday night so people can at least see it before then. Also, Monday, Labor Day, I'm going to try to do a ranking video of all the MCU movies. I was going to do it after Black Widow, but I kind of kept pushing it off. But I'm going to try to do it this time. So, I'm going to hold myself to that. So, what did you think of Shang-Chi? What's your favorite MCU movie? Comment down below, subscribe to the channel. This is Pat, and stay safe.